Hey y'all, how you doing today? And I have a surprise for you. I have a guest that has blessed us with teams for Trivia 11 and Issard 11. No Christopher for Issard 11. Different units for Trivia 11. I believe he shows us 2 different teams, Trivia 11. 1 team, Issard 11, no Christopher. And they're relatively easy and safe runs. So give a shout out to KDG1, and let's give him a big thanks for supplying us with the information that we need in order to mimic these teams. Now, he has in his video records of him doing multiple runs on the Issard 11, but we're going to go ahead and just limit it to showing one of the runs. If you want to see all of them, you can of course look him up on YouTube. His channel name is right there, and yeah, you can watch all of his runs right there. But other than that, we're just going to be breaking down his team composition and seeing how it actually works. So without wasting any more time, let's just jump into that video. All right, so this is going to be Trivia 11. I might pause it every now and then so we can take a look-see at what he's got going on. So we see he's got a Popo, Counterattack, Kairos front line. He's got Nacri and Scarlet in the back. They're just in, you know, an average clump formation. It looks like Popo had the speed to go first. Sorry if my voice sounds rough. I think I have the freaking coronavirus for the 4th time this year. But yeah, I don't get test results for that until tomorrow. Sorry. I'm freaking dying. It's to be expected. So yeah, he has pretty good, I don't think he shows us the stats on his characters, but we can safely assume based on how many of them take a turn before the trivia boss, what their average speed is, and that's really the most important stat. Looks to be working well so far. The Scarlet is just a sliver from death. That was a pretty close call, but she lived. Okay, so we got Popo has more speed, Nacri has more speed, Counterattack, and Kairos. So all of them are above 1300 speed, or they have cards to put them above 1300 speed so that they can take turns before the boss. Boss went ahead and used her ability. I didn't see if damage ignore is what stopped that from killing anybody. Let me go back, actually. Kind of missed that. Let's see. When did she use it? Right here. So yes, they do have damage ignore. Popo casting damage ignore on the entire team, preventing the trivia boss from killing anybody with that first skill because she does a lot of damage with that. That's pretty convenient. All right, so everyone's alive. Looks like at this point the boss is just, you know, pretty much a sitting duck. She does those first 2 attacks, and then she's going to do her charge skill where where she puts on the damage ignore effect on herself, and once you break that shield enough times, it'll push her attack bar back even more. He had enough speed and damage to knock that out of the park and just take care of that with really relatively no problems at all. Let's see, I think, does he show us who did the most damage? All right, so looks like Kairos did the most damage for sure. Next in line was Counterattack, and then Scarlet was pretty far behind. I'm sure she's there for debuffs, and Nacri's pretty far behind. I'm sure she's there for poison. And then Popo was the only support used in that team as well. All right, so now he's changing the team. He took out Scarlet and he put in Amy. So, okay, so they serve relatively the same purpose, I'm guessing. Scarlet was there for multi-hit, defense break, etc., etc. Amy is going to be here for multi-hit and attack break because Amy has attack break on her rage skill. She also has a stun for these first 2 waves, so it's possible that she can make these first 2 waves a little bit more safe because you could stun the mini-boss and you can stun the plants as well. So we'll take a look and see how that's going to work out too. We'll also have to take note of her speed because if she's like 1300 above or not for the boss, because we haven't quite seen the stats. Looks like the boss got a pretty big stun off on everybody, but it doesn't matter because he had enough damage to just push him all the way down. All right, moment of truth. What's the speed? Looks like Amy does not quite make the cut for the speed requirement for the boss, but these were all successful runs anyway, so it's not going to matter. Even with the Amy on this team not being fast enough to move before the boss, she's still going to, you know, help contribute to the overall victory. There we see that rage skill. It didn't put on attack buff. Her rage card must not be promoted. Again, we're going to have to take a look at his units, or maybe he could post some of them in the Discord. She does have a lot of multi-hits though, which is what helps contribute to that strategy, I'm sure. Next is going to be Issard 11. Now he likes to boast no Christopher. So if we take a look at his roster right now, we're seeing Popo and Lakshmi. We know that those guys are pretty essential for the team, right? But no Christopher, because Christopher, a lot of people like to preach about how usable and how much easier he makes Issard 11. But with this exact team right here, looks like not even any of them are level 50. Looks like Lakshmi is only level 44. Popo, Amy are only 46. He's still going to succeed in every single run. So we definitely need to take a look at this run and see how that's going to work. because as we went over in my ISARD 11 video, there's a lot of lose potential in this. So the first lose factor for this first wave is if the dogs explode on you, and he's frontlined way up there. So there's no way those dogs get off their explosion and he survives. So he must take them out pretty quickly. Now they started their cast. He's definitely going to end them before they get their cast off. Yep, Nacri comes in. So that's his... Oh, do they get it? Oh, they were interrupted. Nacri pushed them with the tentacles and interrupted their cast. Is that what happened? That's absolutely crazy if that's what happened. Lose potential on this guy for a second phase involved losing your Christopher. But if we don't have a Christopher to lose, there's really nothing to worry about. So did Amy just put on attack buff? Hold on, let's just pause and go back a second. Because he already had attack buff, or attack break. Let's see if Amy helped put on attack break as well. Okay, so Amy does have attack break. I thought that someone else casted it somehow, but nope. Amy is the one casting attack break on the boss right here. So her rage card is skilled up. She just got unlucky on trivia and didn't quite land it. Again, no one's dying. This isn't a hard wave. The only thing that could potentially make it difficult is the Christopher thing, but we don't have Christopher. So we see automatically Popo putting on support damage ignore, Lakshmi putting on support damage share. Boss goes and does his ability, but a lot of the units can be cleansed fairly easily because both Popo and Lakshmi have an AoE cleanse. They're all alive, they're all sharing the damage, so the boss's regular abilities aren't able to pick anyone off one at a time. The Amy interrupt, we've talked about that already. We saw she canceled his passive twice and pushed him pretty far back, canceled his movement. So yes, he had to lose out on 2 of his passive procs right there. And it looks like from this point, we pretty much got it in the bag. No one's even below half health except Kairos. And that's just because he's jumping over there like a crazy person trying to get on the other side. Wow, that was a big hit. Yo, okay, this is the end of my cut. Anyways, let's see. So 56,000 damage with that one hit. Watch. 53,000. He did 53,000 damage with that one attack. Jesus Christ. That Kairos is nuts. Okay, so that was the end of the clips that I was sharing. He didn't quite show his stats in the video, but if you want to pop by his channel and ask him in his comments section, I'm sure he wouldn't mind sharing, or hop in the Discord, we could ask him there. But those are some different teams that we could use for trivia and Issard. If we don't have Christopher, for Issard, not a problem. As long as you have Popo and Lakshmi, it still works. The Amy is an extremely useful mercenary to take to Issard because of her kit. The bomb not proccing the passive, the rage skill preventing the passive and canceling out its procs, and also the rage skill putting attack break on both bosses. Very, very useful. Amy's very good for trivia as well. Same thing, multi-hit rage skill, attack break. Very useful. The Kairos Nacri on both teams, point that out, they were on both teams. So if you have Kairos Nacri, now who was used on all 3 of these teams? Let's see. So if we have Popo, Nacri, and Kairos, we could use them on this team. They were on the second team as well. They were, okay, and they were also on the Issard team. So you're not going to go wrong in building Popo, Kairos, and Nacri. For any one of these teams, that'll be fine. Amy was able to sub for both as well. She was in the trivia and she was in the Issard, so it's not going to hurt you to build up your Amy too. Lakshmi was, of course, reserved for Issard within his strategy, but also I'm sure she would maybe there's a reason he doesn't use her. So go ahead, if you're going to do Trivia 11, I would recommend following his units exactly and not really deviating too much from his strategy, because he says they're easy, safe runs. And, there's not much more you can ask for. They're also relatively quick, with ×4 speed, especially if you're doing something else. That's very nice to have a safe and quick run. So thanks again to KDG1 for supplying us with these tactics and these strategies. I'm very sorry that I'm struggling a little bit to say what I need to say. I woke up, my throat hurts. Runny nose, headache, body ache, diarrhea, the whole works. So definitely something is wrong with me. I've already been tested for COVID. I've already had it 3 times, so this would make the 4th time, and it wouldn't surprise me at all. And I'll definitely get over it. It's not going to kill me. No virus is going to kill me. But other than that, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and probably take a nap. And yes, thanks again, KD. I appreciate it. Yeah, other than that, y'all, that's going to do it for me today. I'll see y'all later. And goodbye.